Correct, so help you God?
Yes,
Yes.
ma'am. Yes.
Yes.
Thank you. Put your hand down. All right, cause number 46, the state of Gayla Patrice Bradley. Mr. Leake, you're up first.
Yes.
And you may-
Let's see here. We've got Sarah Galler here, Gallaher here, Judge. Let me turn this camera here.
Morning,
So
Sarah.
both of us. Okay. Sarah, would you state your full name for the record, please?
Sarah Beth Gallaher.
Okay. And your mother was Gayla Patrice Bradley. Is that true?
Yes.
And Miss Bradley passed away on April 10, 2023. Is that correct?
Yes.
And she was 72 at that time. And 4 years obviously have not elapsed since her passing. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, she was domiciled and had a fixed place of residence in Chambers County in Anahuac at the time of her passing. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Is it your testimony that this court has jurisdiction and venue of her estate?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And citation has been served upon everyone that needs to be served with it in the manner and for the length of the time required by the probate code. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. Now, Ms. Bradley, your mom, signed her last will and testament on August 25th, 2021. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And in her last will and testament, she appointed you, Sarah Beth Gallaher, to serve as independent executrix, to serve independently without bond or security. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
And you were not disqualified otherwise from applying for issuance and acceptance of letters testamentary. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, to the best of your knowledge, your mom's will, Gayla Patrice Bradley's will, was never revoked. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And there's no state government agency of the state nor any kind of charitable organization that's named in the will as a devotee or beneficiary. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And after the date of the will, no child was born to or adopted to Gayla Patrice Bradley, correct?
Correct.
Okay. And no marriage of your mom was ever dissolved after the will was made. Is that correct? Okay. And to the best of your knowledge, the proof required for probate has been made. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And you are not disqualified from accepting letters testamentary or from serving as executrix, and you're entitled to such a letters testamentary, and you are the person named in your mom's last will and testament. Is that all correct?
Yes, sir.
And are you asking this court to probate this matter at this point?
Yes, sir.
That's all we have, Your Honor.
All right, hereby admit the will of probate and authorize the letters. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Judge.
Sarah, good to see you.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
All right, cause number 47, the state of Marion Bentley Landers. Mr. Mayo, good morning.
Good morning, Your Honor.
You may proceed.
Your Honor, Marion Bentley Landers died on February 25th, 2003 at Baytown, Chambers County, Texas. He was 75 years of age and 4 years not elapsed since the date of his death. He was domiciled and had a fixed place of residence in Chambers County on the date of his death. To the best of my knowledge, the will that's been filed with the court was signed on January 28, 2009, was never revoked. Necessity exists for the administration of the estate, and no state governmental agency of the state or charitable organization was named in the will as a devisee. After the date the will was signed, no child was born to or adopted by Ben Landers, and no marriage of the decedent was ever dissolved after the will was made. His will names his wife, Marcia Lynn Landers, to serve as independent executor and to act independently. I've been over all the requirements, and to the best of my knowledge, the proof of the probate has been made, and Miss Landers has not been convicted of any felony or is otherwise disqualified from accepting letters or serving as executor, and is entitled to such letters as she's named in the will. That's all we'd have, Your Honor.
All right, hereby admit the will of probate and authorize letters. Thank you, guys.
Thank you, sir. Bye-bye.
See you later. All right, cause 48, number 48, the state of Susie Smith Lewis. Mr. Ronberger, you may proceed, Counselor.
Judge, thank you. State your name for the court, please,
Joanna Galavale,
and tell the court what relation you are to Susie Smith Lewis.
her granddaughter.
Now, is it true your grandmother died on or about December 14th of last year in Chambers County, Texas?
Yes,
In the time of her death, she was 82 years of age and a resident of Chambers County, Texas.
yes.
Let me show you what purports. This is an actual copy of the original will that has been filed with the court that purports to be her last will and testament. Do you recognize this?
Yes,
And you recognize her signature?
yes,
And this will is dated February 25th of 2019.
yes.
To the best of your knowledge, was this will ever revoked after it was executed before her death?
No,
Not revoked.
not revoked.
Were there any children born or adopted after the will was executed?
No,
Okay. Did you have any marriages dissolved after the will was executed?
no,
Okay. The will does or does not name a charity, the state of Texas, or an agency of the state of Texas as a beneficiary. Is that correct?
no.
It does
Yeah,
not. Is that
yeah,
correct?
yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
And the will names you to serve as independent executor. Is that correct?
Yes,
Have you been finally convicted of a felony?
no,
And you were qualified and not otherwise disqualified to serve as independent executor
yes,
and accepting letters testamentary.
yes,
And you're asking the court to admit this will to probate and appoint you as independent executor and issue you letters testamentary.
yes.
Judge, it's a non-taxable estate. We ask the appraisers be waived. That's all.
So done. Thank you, Counselor.
Thank you, Judge.
Have a good day.
You too.
All right, cause number 49, the state of Patricia Jane Fuller. Mr. Baker, good morning.
Good morning, Judge. Is my client, Miss Amber Fuller Biggers, on the line?
I am.
Yes.
Oh,
Good morning,
good.
Mr. Biggers.
She has a better backdrop than we do.
Yes, she does.
She's in Florida.
Today.
Yeah, today. May I proceed?
You may proceed.
Judge, this is an application for probate of will as a muniment of title. It's a self-proving will. The one tendered to the court is dated 26 March of 2019. It names me, Richard G. Baker, and Cynthia Cardenas as the witnesses. Could you take judicial notice of that?
Yes, sir. Court takes judicial notice.
Okay, and pursuant to that, it's obvious in the will that it does not name as a devotee the state of Texas, a governmental agency of the state of Texas, or a charitable organization. So, all right, now, Miss Amber Fuller Biggers, were you
Yes.
sworn to tell the truth?
I was, yes.
All right, good. Now you're a qualified witness. This is offering to probate your mother's last will and testament, correct?
Correct.
And her name was Patricia Jane McLeod Fuller.
Correct.
And she was born in Robertson County on or about April 1935 and died on 4 May of 2023 in Anahuac, Chambers County, correct?
Correct.
And she was 88 years of age.
Correct.
Okay. At the time that she died, she resided at 205 Otkin West in Anahuac, Texas, 77514, correct?
Correct.
All right. Now, that will that the judge took judicial notice of, you are familiar with that document, correct? I sent it to you. Y'all provided it to me. I created it with her.
I
Then
think
y'all-
she froze up for a moment. There you go, Ms. Biggers.
Yes, I am familiar with the document. Yeah.
Okay. Were you knowledgeable about your mother's business?
Yes, I was.
Is that
Or
her
I
last,
am.
is that her last will and testament?
Correct.
And to your knowledge, she never revoked it. Correct?
Correct.
All right. Now, also, your mother had 2 children only. Your sister April, who died as she died in 1971 and was born in 1962. So she died as a child, correct?
Correct.
And then you.
Correct.
And your mother had no other children.
She did not.
All right. And your father was Cecil Fuller,
Correct.
and that was your mother's only marriage, correct?
Correct.
And he died in 1995 in Harris County at the age of 61 years.
Correct.
All right. And Mr. Cecil Fuller is your father too.
Correct.
Right. All right. Now, is it true that there's no need for an administration because there are no debts owed by your mother, which are not secured by liens upon real estate?
Correct.
Okay. And let's see. I believe we've covered all the bases. And we had, Judge, just so you'll know, her mother set this up so that we could do this as a muniment of title.
Yes.
All right. Thank you. And I I have no further questions. Ask that
All
you
right,
admit
hereby
the will.
admit the will of probate as a muniment of title.
Thank you very
Thank
much.
Mr. Baker, Ms. Biggers, have a good day. Have fun in Florida.
Thank you. Thank you.
Bye-bye. See how
All
I
right,
get out.
calls number 50, the state of Beverly Ann, DeRee. Morning. Counselor, you may
Good morning,
proceed.
Your Honor. I
when you're
believe
ready.
I see my client, Mr. DeRee there. Tim, can you hear me okay?
Yes, I can.
All right, may we get
Morning,
started?
Tim.
Hey, Judge, how you doing?
You may proceed.
Tim, would you please state your full legal name for the court?
Yeah, it's Dwight Timothy DeRee.
And your mother, Beverly Ann DeRee, passed away on May 5th, 2023, in Mount Bellevue, Chambers County, Texas, at the age of 91. Is that correct?
That is correct.
And at the time of her passing, she had a fixed place of residence in Chambers County. Is that right?
That's correct.
And your mother left a last will dated August 13th, 1996, which you filed for probate.
That's correct.
And to the best of your knowledge, is that will that you submitted with the court, the original that your mother executed?
Yes, it is.
Your Honor, I'd ask that the court take judicial notice that the will before it is an original.
So that,
Tim, to your knowledge, did your mother ever revoke this will?
Pardon?
To your knowledge, did your mother ever revoke this will?
No,
And did she have any marriage dissolved after she executed the will?
no,
And your mother have any children born to her or adopted by her after the will was executed?
no,
And the state of Texas or a governmental agency of the state of Texas are not named as beneficiaries in the will. Is that correct?
that's correct.
There is a charitable organization, the Texas Methodist Foundation in Houston, Texas, that is a devisee of the will. Is that correct?
That's correct.
And your mother never received or applied for Medicaid benefits. Is that right?
That's correct.
And a need exists to administer your mother's estate.
Correct.
And now the will named Samuel Marion DeRee to serve as independent executor, but he predeceased your mother. Is that correct?
That is correct.
And you are named as the alternate independent executor to serve without bond. Is that right?
That's correct.
And you were qualified, not disqualified by law, to serve as the independent executor. Is that right?
That's correct.
Your Honor, I ask that the last will of Beverly Ann DeRee be admitted to probate and that Dwight Timothy DeRee be appointed independent executor to serve without bond and that appraisers for the estate be waived.
so done. Thank you, Counselor. Tim, good to see you.
Good to see you, Jimmy. Thanks a lot, man.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Have a good day. Thank you. That's a wrap.
Thank you.
Thank you.